Okay. Hi, I'm Kimberley Chen, and you're watching the AU review.
I, I know that you used to be a trainee with JYP over in New York. Can you tell me about the time that you actually were a trainee?
Yeah, well, at the time, well, actually, how I got to find this company was my parents are originally Malaysian, born Chinese, and we were in Singapore because we have a lot of relatives in Singapore. And my mom was very interested in, finding what's the next step for me. Because back in Australia, I did The Price is Right and I did The Lion King. So my mom was like, "Do you want to take this seriously? Do you want to keep trying?" So we went to Singapore on a stopover to see my auntie. And my auntie said, oh, actually, there's this company called Li Wei Song. It's a very reputable Singaporean company, and they train a lot of Singaporean artists to, become singers. So I was like, oh, this sounds very interesting. So I went to audition for them, and I was originally going to sign a contract with them. And then they told me that there's this Korean company that's having like one of those audition tours. Like they go around and they go around Asia and they want to find, new and upcoming talent. So they asked me to audition for that, and I went in there, and I remember I was only 11, and I sang a Whitney Houston song for them, and I danced some, I don't know, hip hop, jazz, something. And yeah, and they really liked me, and I was really like excited and nervous, and they talked about contracts. So we negotiated a contract for about a year, and then they decided that I would probably be best suited in New York because I speak English and I don't speak Korean. So if I went to Korea, I would be like lost. And yeah, New York, and I was like, wow, I've never been to New York City, and I've seen so many movies, so it was very exciting. So we went to New York, and I got there, and it was awesome. Like there were so many opportunities, and I think the best thing about being with JYP is that they opened me up to so many opportunities. Learning. I got amazing coaches for dance practice, for singing, for acting even. So that was really awesome. And I think although at the time I remember being in JYP was a very stressful thing maybe because I had to do a lot of things like maybe control my weight or like, because they're very, very on point with like, their standard. And at the time I was like, oh, this is hard. But now that I look back, I think like, this is how you produce like a very, an artist with a strong base and like someone that's very disciplined with their work. So I'm actually really grateful that they put me through all that hardship. Otherwise I wouldn't have, been so serious about it, and I probably would not be where I am today. So it was a really good experience.
Let's talk about the rest of this year. What's your plans for the rest of 2014?
The rest of my plans for this year is to get my butt up and start writing music. Really, because I give myself a downtime of 3 to 4 months, after promotion, and my promotions ended, around 6 months. So I've had a good, couple of months to have some downtime. I got to, go back. I went to America for a little holiday, and I will be going to Australia. So it's like so many holidays in a year. And so I'm just going to work on, getting my new music together. I'm really excited actually because every time I get to release an album or an EP or something, I'm always opened up to different audiences, and I like to listen to what my audience wants. Like, if I have, before when I first came to Taiwan, I knew that my audience was a Chinese-speaking audience, so I wanted to give them the best of what my Chinese is. So I worked really hard for that, and now that I know that like I have opportunities to, work outside of Taiwan too, whether that be Singapore or Australia or America or anywhere. I want to, produce a lot more material. So English, I'm going to do my English EP mixtape thing. So hopefully that goes well with free download.
Do you have a message for your fans, either in Taiwan or in Australia or indeed around the world?
I'd like to thank everyone for like all your support, and I normally when I'm not working, I live on my Facebook, and I post stuff and I see everyone's feedback, and I'm so thankful for everyone's, they're so supportive and they're so caring, and whether we're in Taiwan or Australia or anywhere around the world, I'd like to thank everyone so much for your support, and I really hope I get to see you soon. Whichever country. I really hope I get to go there and, have fun with you guys. So wait for me, and I'll work really hard to get there. Yeah.
Well, Kimberley Chen, it's been fantastic to talk to you today.
Thank you so much, Johnny. It's been so much fun.
We can't wait to see you play in Australia in September.
So excited.
It's got to be amazing. And best of luck with the third album
Thank you
and your
so much.
mixtape. And we can't wait to hear new material. And I guess we'll talk again very soon.
Okay, thank you
very
so much. And thank you to all the viewers of AU Review. See you soon.